Hello everyone, and I'd like to welcome you all to my quaint little cooking class that I'm holding here at the Wicked Wisdom Convention this year. Now, I'm sure you all feel very honoured to be in attendance at this particular event, as spots were extremely limited and I'm told the reservations went quite quickly. But that's no surprise, really, is it? Now, rather than doing a traditional cooking class, because I think those are utterly boring, I decided that I was going to do more of more of an overview of some of my favourite dishes, and send you all home with a booklet that I've had them put together for me that outlines all of the ingredients and the instructions. Nothing too difficult, of course, because I know you all are, well, somewhat peasants, so I don't want to have anything go over your head. So, I think we should get started, shall we? Most of the things I'll be sharing with you are sweet dishes, though there are some savory, cakes, cookies, casseroles, things like that. Now, a lot of these things I don't usually prepare myself because, after all, I am a queen. I usually have them prepared for me by my cooking staff when I can find reliable help, that is. Usually they lose their heads in the line of duty. So I think we'll get started. Now, I'm not really going to be answering questions during any of this because, quite frankly, I do not have the time to consort with all of you people. But I'm sure that one of my assistants can help you with anything that you need after my little tutorials are through, because I'm sure you will have quite a few questions after all. All right, let's see here. The first one I'd like to show you is this lovely cake here. Now, this one is on page 5 of the booklet I will be giving you. It requires just your basic ingredients: vanilla, sugar, flour, things of that variety. And what really sets this cake apart from any others that you'll find is the addition of authentic Madagascar vanilla beans. Now, I also usually put just a bit of Wonderland honey in it because I find that adds a touch of sweetness without putting too much sugar in. After all, we have to watch our waistlines now, don't we? Let's see, what else should I tell you about this cake that may be pertinent to the preparation process? Well, you, of course, when removing it from the oven, must use oven mitts, unless you, of course, you have enchanted hands that don't burn, which I'm sure that many of you don't have the magical capabilities to pull anything like that off. So you do have to remember to use oven mitts, whether they be hand crocheted or store-bought, whatever the case may be. Now the next one here I have is a lovely chicken broccoli casserole. I am quite a fan of broccoli, even though it gives me a bit of flatulence. But anyway, this one requires a bit of mushroom soup, some chicken breast, broccoli, and usually I either make it with a side of rice or some noodles. Typically those little tiny macaroni noodles, those are my favorite. And you essentially just mix all the ingredients together. It's very simple, so it should be ideal for all of you. And you put them in the oven, again using oven mitts, and you remove it around about 25 to 30 minutes later. Now this one is particularly good if you do add almonds, which sometimes I enjoy almonds, but there are other times when I could really take or leave them. It all depends upon where the almonds are grown. For instance, there is a grove right outside of Neverland, and they have the best almonds, and they roast them right there on site. But then if they're locally grown in my little neck of Wonderland, I don't usually care for them. They're just not, well, they're mediocre, to be quite honest. Especially for my trained royal palate. Okay, the next dish here, this one is featured on page 15 of your booklet. This one is a raspberry sorbet, and this one is quite lovely in summertime after you've had a nice supper, and you just want to kind of lounge around and have a refreshing treat. And it has fresh strawberries in it, of course, and ice and a variety of other ingredients. Sometimes I'll add mint just to balance everything out. Now, I've included all of this in the little booklet that I'm giving you. Well, rather, I've had my assistants include it. I can't be bothered to put together a booklet after all. And this raspberry sorbet is quite good if you're watching your figure, because it is very low in calories, but I don't have to worry about any of that now, do I? After all, my head kind of balances everything out. It makes everything else look small by contrast. And, oh, this is an absolutely fantastic dish, particularly for breakfast. They are my blueberry pancakes. And these are, I think, quite possibly my favorite type of pancake. Sometimes I like banana walnut, and other times I'm in the mood for chocolate chip, but usually you could wake me up at any time of the night for a nice thick blueberry pancake. And these are quite fluffy, and I usually have them with just a dab of butter and a thin layer of syrup, maple syrup, of course. These blueberry pancakes require all of the basic ingredients, such as flour, sugar, and freshly picked blueberries right from the grove. Now, I have a blueberry bush growing right in my garden, and I'll sneak a few every now and again. But I will say, one evening I was walking, and I got one of my guards kind of nibbling at the blueberries, and I will not stand for that. No one touches my blueberries and gets away with it. So, well, he was let go summarily, and by let go I mean I removed his head, but his family was well compensated. All right, I do have a heart after all. Oh, this is another savory dish that I enjoy quite often. It's a sort of stir-fry that I do when I'm in the mood for vegetarian. So it has, again, broccoli, as I do so enjoy a good head of broccoli, and some cauliflower and carrots and mushrooms, and some cashews and watercress, and those little baby corn cobs. I can't get enough of those. Sometimes I'll serve them with chow mein noodles, and other times I'll serve it with a nice bed of basmati rice. It depends on what mood I'm in. And usually I'll put just a dab of teriyaki sauce on it, or soy. Soy can get a bit too salty for me though at times, so I have to watch my sodium intake. After all, it raises my blood pressure, and I don't need to get any more hot-headed and all out of whack. I am quite even-tempered usually, but when I get sodium in me, watch out. Let's see. Oh, these are delightful. These are my double chocolate chip muffins. So they're the chocolate muffin, which I use real cocoa for, and then I put usually chocolate chunks, either white or dark chocolate, and then semi-sweet chocolate chips. And if if the mood strikes me, I'll put them in cute little cups, like these ones I have here, with the white and the red hearts. Now that, by the way, is featured in page 26 of the booklet I'll be giving you. In fact, I think I'll have my assistants hand them out now, quickly, so they can follow along with me. They're probably lost at this point. Okay. Now the next one I wanted to show you is this, well, it's more of a drink, I suppose. It's a sangria, but sometimes I make popsicles out of them in the summertime. And a sangria has a good amount of alcohol in it. Nothing to put me in too tipsy of a mood. I have to stay, have my wits about me. After all, I am ruling a realm. But it has fresh berries, fresh strawberries, some freshly squeezed fruit juice, orange juice, things like that. This one I just love to sip on warm summer evenings, especially in July, August, when things do get a bit sticky. And I'll sit out on my lawn and stare at my lovely ruby red roses and just kick my feet up a bit. And that's on page 35 of your booklets. Now there's one more I'd like to show you. And this is sort of the centerpiece at my dinner parties. This is the roasted turkey. Now, rather than stuffing my roasted turkey with traditional stuffing, I tend to put a variety of different things in it. Sometimes I'll put witch hazel, other times I'll put hemlock, things like that, just to keep people on edge and let them know that, well, who's in charge. I don't serve the stuffing to them by any means. I don't want to make anyone ill or anything like that. But I do feel it infuses a bit of fear into the roasted turkey that really makes the meal. I remember at my last dinner party just about a month ago, and I served this roasted turkey, and well, everyone was so polite and so gracious. It just kind of puts everyone in check, in other words. So, does anyone have any questions for me? Not that I'll answer them, but I just wanted to make sure that you were all listening in the beginning when I mentioned that I wouldn't be answering questions. Good. We have an attentive crowd today. Well, I think that will be all then. I've spent quite enough time doing this. I'm going to go get a pedicure at the spa. And, well, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your convention.